From the studios of Foxboro Cable Access, located in the center of Foxborough, Massachusetts, you are watching Around Foxborough.
Hello, I'm Joe Sanders, and I'm your host today for Around Foxborough. Our guest is Jack Gannon, president of Foxboro Art Association. Well, first off, Jack, tell us about that.
Well, the Art Association is an amazing group. They've been around since 1957. Very age-diverse group. We have probably about 100 members, actually a little over 100 members. Very active. We do paint-outs where the artists get together and they paint in certain locations. We just did one at Patriot Place behind the Bass Pro Shop, and that was the same day that Ocean Spray was harvesting the cranberries. So to have the artists there painting and to see all that red coming across the water.
I saw that and took a picture of them drawing. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't be there, unfortunately, this time because I was in Florida visiting my grandkids.
Oh, well, good for you.
But I've been there in the past many times doing this same thing. Fantastic.
Wow.
So we do that. We have monthly meetings where once a month at the Boyden Library, we have an art demonstrator come in and demonstrate how they begin a painting, start a painting, do a painting. It could be watercolors, it could be oils, acrylics, it could be sculptures. Wow. And when I first joined the group, I've been with the group now for over 20 years. When I first joined the group, I was a photographer, and I didn't know if being an art association, if they would accept photographers.
Okay.
I had no idea.
Okay.
Well, they welcomed me with open arms. For 7 years, I was their vice president, and now the last 8 years, I've been their president.
Wow.
So it's been fantastic. It really has.
Well, Jack, you mentioned open arms. I'll tell you, I know that feeling because that's the feeling I have at Foxborough. I had the same feeling when I went and visited the Foxborough Cultural Council. They opened, and now I'm in that group. You mentioned a couple things that are really interesting to me. I had never been to the Cranberry Bogs until that day. It was a Saturday that I went there. It was a beautiful day. It was just beautiful watching them paint. It was gorgeous. But I would like to know, I would like to know, you talked about being a photographer. Tell us how you started your interest in all, the arts.
Well, there's two things that had to do with it. One was the fact of my mom. My mom was very artistic, even though she didn't go out and display in public or anything. When we were young kids, she painted sailboats on our walls. She would take Christmas card catalogs and she'd bring them home and would be cutting them up and making things, designing things. So I'd say that's a lot of it comes from her. Mm-hmm. She's still to this day. She's 89 years old and still to this day very energetic and artistic, and she can do almost anything. So
Jack, that reminds me of a saying that I say a lot these days. We don't quit playing because we grow old. We grow old because we quit playing. Yeah. And that sounds like your mom.
It's true. It's exactly true.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And the other reason why I got into photography and then into artwork was I was traveling around the world for my regular job, my work. Mm-hmm. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to take photographs to show my friends and family what I was experiencing, the people I was experiencing, the architecture, the culture. I wanted to show them my kids, my wife, my family, even my nieces and nephews. And that's how I started that at first. Wow. And that's how I got involved with Patriot Place, because they invited me in to show my artwork when they had, for instance, the Irish Festival. Jack, come on in and show your photos from Ireland, and you can set up a table and sell them there. And that's how it all started with the art gallery at Patriot Place.
Wow.
Okay. And that lasted 12 and a half years, so that was fantastic.
Good for you.
That really was. That was amazing.
I have seen pictures, and that looked like a fantastic operation.
Oh, it was.
There.
It was fun, enjoyable. It wasn't a business to me.
Yeah.
It was a way to give back to the community.
Yeah.
A way that we could do. We had fundraisers for various events. Lewy body disease, for instance. Mm-hmm. We had one gentleman who had the disease, and every single day he woke up and painted because he wanted to do every year a fundraiser to help raise money. He knew it was too late for him, but he wanted to do it for the people coming behind who had Lewy body.
Oh my.
You know, so even the days where he couldn't paint, couldn't hold a paintbrush, he was still painting with his fingers.
Oh my goodness.
Just so he could have the artwork to sell, to do all this for Lewy body disease.
That's quite a story.
Yeah, so we had a lot of stuff like that. We had a high school art program where for 12 years, we gave all the local high schools a weekend at the art gallery to display the student art. We had on Fridays, we would have the autistic adults come in, a group of them, and they would spend all day Friday working there, creating artwork and just having a session together. You know, there was so much that we did. I could go on for story after story with this.
Well, maybe we can always have you back too. we do have a half hour only today, but this sounds like something we'd like to do more than once.
Oh, it was great.
So,
I wish it was still around. I really do. I love that gallery.
So it sounds like it was a calling for you.
Oh, yes.
And I know, because I went over to the library the other day, I know you got something going on over at Boyden right now. Would you like to tell us about that, Jack?
Yes, we have the Foxboro Art Association fall art show. We do a show twice a year for the members, and we have about 30 some odd pieces up on the walls right now at the Boyden Library in their community room. And the Foxboro Art Association, when they do a show, they do it really well. We have some great members, and I just want to point out, if someone ever wants to join the group, don't be afraid that we have great artwork and great members. We accept anybody. Even if you just love art and you want to get involved, we'd love to have you join.
I was going to ask that.
Yes, it's fantastic. It's only $30 a year as a membership, and we have monthly meetings. We have a demonstrator that comes in every meeting, different artist every meeting, to show how they start a painting, paint a painting, with their special techniques, whatever they do. It could be watercolors, it could be acrylics, it could be oils, it could be sculptures, and they show how they do what they do. When I first started, like I said, I was a photographer. I didn't think I was going to enjoy the fact of an artist comes in and I sit there and I watch this artist paint. I absolutely loved it. I learned so much, even as a photographer, from watching the artists and how they do the lighting and where they see the light source coming from. And, there was so much to it. I just loved it.
Well, lately I've gotten into puzzles. I mean, the only thing I can see being the same is that you've got this beautiful stuff laid out in front of you, and you're doing things that with your hands, and it's peaceful. And I can see where it would be relaxing and very satisfying.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I did a lot of painting at the art gallery itself. I also have a home studio. And at the art gallery, we had about a dozen artists at any given time. So it was fantastic when we had that. But getting back to the Art Association and the show, it's if you haven't seen it, please go down and see it. It's a fantastic show. And we did something very different this year. We decided to do a People's Choice Award. Something we have in the history of Foxboro Association. It was 67 years, I believe it's been. I don't believe we've ever, at least that I know of, ever done a People's Choice Award.
Okay.
And when I go to a show, it could be any show, I walk around, I look and say, in some cases, why did this particular piece get a ribbon? Did the judge see something that I didn't see? Am I missing something here? And then there are times too where I look at a painting and say, how come this painting didn't get a ribbon? Well, and that can happen at any show.
Yeah.
This gives the viewers a chance to get involved in the judging, in the voting. And I know, being an artist, if I win a People's Choice Award, that to me is just so important.
Well, you mentioned earlier about anyone being able to join. I just conceptually, the idea of the public being able to vote, those are people out there who have different viewpoints of it's not top down, this is the way it should look and therefore it's better. I think it's, especially these days, people having a voice, it matters. And I think that's interesting to see. I was over there and I saw the setup.
That's fantastic.
I like you know, for those that are planning to go, I hope a lot of people will, but you have the little ballot box, and you know, you write your name on it and which one you like, and you put it in there, and you know, you don't vote twice. And I really enjoy it. And I have to say, I mean, I probably should be unbiased for this, but I have to say there was one piece in there that I really liked. It was different than everyone else, and it was a bunch of like bottle caps. Can you talk about that, Jack? I'm not sure who did that one.
Yeah, that's my piece.
Oh, it's yours.
That's
oh, surprise,
piece.
surprise.
And that was something that I had never done anything like that before. Everything I did was either using a brush or using a palette knife or palette knives. I had never done anything to that degree of abnormality.
Right.
When I paint a painting, I pretty much know in advance, in many cases, at least something about what I'm going to be painting here. I start designing and start doing it, but I have in my head an idea. That one, it took a long time to figure out, what do I do with these bottle caps?
Right.
How do they're all different colors, different things. What do I do with them? And I decided to do a purple, what I called Scooby-Doo Volkswagen van.
Yeah.
And what's cool about that is it's all made with either bottle caps or things that I found in the streets. Either I was walking through the streets of Charleston, South Carolina, and Cape Cod, walking through Hyannis. I was walking down the street with my wife. We were heading to the Cape Cod Melody Tent, and I see a flattened beer can that I just thought was cool looking. And I pick it up and put it in my back pocket, and my wife says, "What are you doing?" You know, it's things like that.
Saving the environment.
Exactly. Well, it was all about, the reason I did this and started this, we had at the art gallery a art contest called Debunk Junk. We did it for 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
the last
I was going to
3
ask about that. Yes, tell us about that.
Yes, that was amazing. What it was, we had two sponsors, Patriot Place and Waste Management. And it was all about turning trash or things you would normally throw away into enjoyable artwork. And we had artists that were creating some absolutely amazing pieces and amazing things. And every single year they kept on saying, "Are we going to do it again this year? We're going to do it again this year." You know, it was fantastic. And the stuff that came out of that, I mean, for things that people would normally be throwing away, the artwork that came out of that was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I saw that piece, and like I said, I won't bias, but I really enjoyed it. And the further back I stood, the clearer the picture, I could see exactly what you were talking about.
Yes, you see the details when you're up close. There's a shirt sleeve in there, okay, with a buttonhole.
Yeah.
There's a crunched up Hershey Kiss wrapper that's in there. There's so many things that are in there. You have the old Magic Hat caps, bottle caps, that have the sayings on the inside. There's about a dozen of them in there all along. And what I did just recently with that piece is I put a resin on it. I used a resin, and it just pulled it all together so nicely. It's amazing.
So you mentioned that you did have the art gallery over at Patriot Place, and you have, is it 2 of these each year? Is that right? The competitions, the open art or the public?
The member shows?
Yes.
Okay. We used to have them at the art gallery before when I had the art gallery.
Okay.
Now we do it at the Boyden Library.
Okay, and they're twice a year.
And twice a year.
Okay. And this is the first one, I think you said, that where is the public, the People's Award, I think you said. Very good. And tell us more about the dates of this show, this one.
The show, it went up on Wednesday, and it's up for the entire month of November.
Okay.
It comes down on the 30th.
Okay.
And for voting for the People's Choice, we're going to have it through Saturday, I think it's the 15th or 16th, whatever that day is. I think I got it on here somewhere.
Yeah, it says closes on 11/17.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever that Saturday is,
okay,
that's the day it closes. Sunday, the library's closed. And then Monday, we're going to go in and take the ballot box and go through it and figure out who the the People's Choice Award winner is.
Okay.
And then we'll put a ribbon on that particular piece.
Okay.
We're having
yeah.
it judged. The show's being judged this Friday for the regular judging.
Okay.
We always have a professional art judge come in, a local artist who's very well in understanding of judging and skills and the techniques, and it's always a different judge. And the judge will come in on Friday and award the ribbons. There'll be a best in show. There'll be for each category a first place, second place, third place, and then we'll have some honorable mentions.
Yeah. Wow. That's right. So. Talked about the vote. I understand there's maybe an incentive for people to come and vote.
Yes.
What is that, Jack?
Yes, there is. What we wanted people to come and see the show, and we wanted people to vote, to understand and to get to know that we're doing this. So we went to Union Straw. They gave us a $25 gift certificate. So when we actually get the ballots and go through them to find out who the best and who the People's Choice Award winner is. We're also going to randomly pull one name out of that, one ballot out of there, and the person who voted is going to get that gift certificate.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Union Straw. I happen to know this for a fact. I'm part of the Foxboro Cultural Council, and we were, I won't say host, but we support the Fox Tales. It's storytelling once a month. And the winner of each month, so far, lately, has gotten a gift certificate to Union Straw.
Oh, wow.
So let's thank Union Straw for being a good,
exactly.
good Foxboro member here. And so anyway, so I guess we'll see how many people come out. This ought to be interesting. So folks, it's. You got time. And I highly recommend it to everybody to come on out.
Like I said, when I go to a lot of people I'm sure do this, when I go to a not show, it's just I walk around and I look at it and I say, what did this judge see in this piece? And and I look at every single piece to try and figure out which one's my favorite.
Yeah.
This would give me now the chance to, which I haven't done yet. I got to go and do it myself.
Sure.
But this will give me the chance to say, okay, I really like that piece right there, and I'm going to vote for that piece.
Yeah.
Now, whether that piece already gets a ribbon or not, I don't know.
Right.
But sometimes it's really cool when the piece that wins the People's Choice was not one of the ones that the judge picked. Because the pieces are so incredible, every single one of them.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing for a judge to pick. I've been an art judge.
Right.
It's a very hard thing for a judge to pick first, second, third, best in show.
Right.
In almost any art show.
Yeah.
It really is.
One of the things that struck me when I was just walking through, most are paintings, most of them are, but yours isn't. And you mentioned that it's not just painting, it's art. And I was wondering, through the vast, the variety of things you've seen in your X years doing things like this, is there one aha moment at all that you can think of that really sticks out, like surprising or anything at all? I didn't prep you for this one, but I thought I'd throw that out there. You've got vast background.
Yeah, I'll give you two examples.
Okay.
One and two very, very different ones. One was made, I saw a massive piece that was made from guitar picks.
Oh my.
And they had to take the picks and just separate them by colors, kind of like I did with the bottle caps, separate them by colors, and then design the piece they were working on. That was more of a sculpture. They had to design the piece with the colors from the bottle caps. And it really, that was amazing. I brought people, when I saw that one, I brought people in to say, hey, check this out. And, it's incredible.
Yeah.
The other one that's very, very different is one that kind of blew my mind. I read this actually in the paper. I didn't actually see this one. And what it was someone who designed an invisible sculpture. And they sold that invisible sculpture for quite a bit of money. And it just blows my mind that people can, it's nothing truly, but it's a concept. And they actually sold it, and along with it, they gave a certificate of authenticity, and they had instructions on how to display it, the energy that it has all around it, and how much space it needs. And
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is a little heavy for a retired military guy to understand.
So whenever we had an open wall, if we're taking down a show at the art gallery,
Right.
and we had an open wall for an hour or two, and someone walks in and they see the open blank wall, I'd say, that's our invisible artwork over there.
Yeah.
You want to buy a piece?
So I mean, was it made out of clear glass, or was it not made? It was nothing.
It was nothing.
Oh my God.
It was truly nothing. It was a concept. It was someone
Okay.
kind of like the Pet Rock years ago,
Yeah.
and even to a more degree.
It kind of reminds me of the final exam question, why, and the person says, why not, and they maxed it. You know?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, but art can be anything. I mean, it's really you. That's how you look at it.
Yeah.
How you envision it and what you see. There could be almost anything at all you look at is art.
Right.
That's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah. No, I
You can
agree.
look at I do a lot of abstract pieces, and where you can look at a piece, and you and I can be standing in front of this piece. You see one thing, I see something else.
Yeah.
And now you start talking about it. Now conversations start happening. Now you could have, if you had this piece in your home, you got people coming in for a party, whatever, that starts conversations.
Yes.
Now you're all standing around, and for the first hour, maybe 30 minutes, you're all talking about this particular piece of art.
Right.
You know, those are the best pieces of art start conversations.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you know, you mentioned the bottle cap. What was the type of art you called that? What was it?
Mixed media.
No, well, that mixed media, but the one that oh my gosh, the trash.
Oh, debunk junk.
Debunk junk. Is there any of your own personal creations that you can, other than the one we talked about already today, with all the bottle caps and everything,
Well,
that stand out as something you're the most proud of?
I did one. I've only done 2 pieces so far for this show, because we would have had our third one coming up, but then we had to close the gallery. I did a piece that was what I called my funky flying monkey, and it was all made with that one. The other one was made of bottle caps.
Yeah.
This is all made of bottle cans. And I mean beer cans.
Yeah.
And I would flatten the cans, and then design a sculpture with the cans using screws and rivets. Nothing inside, just form it all around. And in the end, you had to put legs on it, and feet on it. And, I used so many different pieces of other things too to make the face and the coming out the nose and mouth coming out. And I called that I put wings on it, my funky flying monkey. And I would go around at the art gallery, and I would every once in a while just bring it outside and walk around with it. I'd do different things. I put it at the front, on the front door as people coming in. I mean, I eventually sold that piece.
Yeah.
I loved it. I didn't want to sell it, but someone came in and made me a good offer, so I sold that piece.
That's neat. Well,
And then what I'm doing right now, or I want to start doing right now, I'm starting to collect.
sure.
I want to do something very unusual for me. It's a challenge for me. I want to do a life-size sculpture of a man sitting on a bench playing a banjo. And I'm going to do it out of chicken wire. So if anybody out there has some extra chicken wire, I don't want to buy chicken wire because that goes against the whole debunk junk concept. But if anyone out there has some extra chicken wire that they want to donate to me, they can reach out to me. I'm not sure if you want to give them my email address or anything.
Sure, yeah.
My email is jackgannonart@gmail.com.
Very good.
And
No dots in there, just
jackgannonart@gmail.com.
Okay, very good.
So, yeah.
Well, I recommend to everybody they go look at. I went to your website and just read a couple times things, and I said, wow, you've got some things to talk about. And the great thing is, I mean, it's a cliche about a picture's worth 1,000 words. We could talk about it, but folks really need to go out and look. And I remember when I was a second lieutenant in the Army, I was stationed in Europe. I was single, and I went to the museums. I went to Paris and went to the Louvre. And I remember trying to see if the Mona Lisa was really tracking me or not. But it's just really soothing. That's the way I feel. And so I'm really. I'm very happy to meet you and have you here tonight, and I can't wait to see how. I'll be back over to Boyden more than once to see how things are going over there.
You'll probably see me over there.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds fantastic.
Well, I wish you luck, Jack. Anything else you'd like to mention?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show today.
Sure.
This is fantastic. Very much appreciated. And I just want to again really emphasize to people, go see the show.
Yes.
It's well worth going to see. Costs nothing.
Right.
You know, and it's always a great show.
Yeah.
And if anybody does want to join the association, they can reach out to me. I just gave you my email address. Reach out, and I'll put you in contact with the treasurer and different people, vice president, whoever. And it's such a great community.
Great. All right. Well, Jack, I appreciate you coming in today. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Gannon, president of the Foxboro Art Association. And that's it for today for Around Foxborough.